brought this up, I think, in other places in my life, but there's a cookbook by a guy named Roy Choi, who's a Korean food truck chef. And he's like a multiple award-winning chef, but his big thing is he makes gourmet food on food trucks in LA. I mean, that's really kind of how he got his fame. And in his cookbook, he describes preparation of rice. And he's like, here's the list of ingredients. Here's all the stuff you're going to do. Here's what the final products are. Here's the oven temperature, blah, 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 for his short ribs or whatever it is. But let's talk about the rice. The rice, the magic in the final product is in how do you take care of the rice. And he describes in like 1 or 2 paragraphs, letting the rice sit for a while and then going in and just massaging each kernel. Make sure you touch every single kernel.
Being with the rice.
Right?
Love it.
Everybody's like, yeah, the rice, just rinse it and then put it in the rice cooker, and you're running around, you got your kids crying, you're doing all those things, and those are all important things. But if you want the food to taste good, you have to start with how do you care for even just the grains of rice. And this notion is not something that I think is very rewarded in our society. I mean, you're in South Beach, Miami. It's a go, very, very fast pace, culture within South Beach. I'm in Kentucky, things are a little bit slower, but I did all my training out in LA and San Diego, where, if you want to go to the beach 7 miles away from Los Feliz, you're going to be in the car for like an hour and a half, and everybody's rushing to get everywhere. And this is all sort of preaching to the choir. But the reality is that even we within the healthcare professions, we don't even value the time we get to sit with our patients. And what I would say is like the rice analogy, that is really like when I put my hand on a patient, just be with your patient, be present with the person that you're here to care for. It's not a matter of what the insurance company wants you to do. It's not a matter of what your, the culture of your other, colleagues want you to do. It's not a matter of what's on the clock. Like what your patient needs from you is to be present with them, to not have the answer, but to actually be there and be present with them so that you can develop that relationship. And that's not something that's rewarded. It's not incentivized in any aspect of our culture, especially within the medical system. So when a person meets with me for the first time, we do a little breathing. We do a little like, let's get grounded. And it might be 15 minutes into the consultation. I can tell on their face, it's like, we got to get going. There's labs we got to review and all this other stuff, but we wouldn't even be able to get to that point if we didn't focus on the connection. And I think that as the new world is emerging, our biggest currency is connection, and we can't do that unless we're present with one another. And I'm a constant work in progress. My wife would say, "You're never present," and I'm like, "I'm working on it." It's
right. Me too. I had a million examples come in my head of how I don't do that either. Like yesterday, driving to just get home. I just wanted to get home, and I was like, "Get out of my way," and it's like on to the next thing. Like the stress is when you are anticipating what's next rather than really being present in where you are.